So what do you make of the news about these exchanges and futures trading?
Yeah, so this is massive. It means that a massive wall of institutional money that actually wants access to the price of Bitcoin without actually having to hold Bitcoins, right? So this is sort of like if you want access to the price of gold, you don't have to buy bars of physical gold, right? So this also means it opens up new financial products so people can actually short Bitcoin and bet against the price of Bitcoin for the first time in a real institutionally safe way.
What do you think is coming from regulators on this?
So I think that there's an increasing understanding that this is a massive breakthrough technology, perhaps larger than anything we've seen since the creation of the internet itself, and that it's very important that we create very careful, pragmatic regulation about this industry and this technology.
You and I have had this conversation earlier, but I think it's important to have again, especially as the price continues to go up and up and up. You don't want to overhype it, but there's still a lot of skeptics and there's still a lot of uncertainty.
So there have always been skeptics in this space since the very, very beginning. I actually think what we've seen recently is absolutely nothing compared to what we'll see over the next 5 or 10 years. This space is also growing far beyond Bitcoin. So many other blockchain technologies are growing actually at a faster clip than Bitcoin. So for example, Ethereum is up much more than Bitcoin on the year. And I think going forward, we're going to see many new ecosystems develop, things like Dfinity, Polkadot, Tezos. Many of these things are going to grow even faster than Bitcoin has in the past year.
So let's talk about some of these comments that we've heard. A bubble, a fraud. What do you think?
I think people have been saying that since the very beginning.
I know you obviously don't think it's a fraud.
And yeah, no, I think that there's often the folks saying those things don't frankly understand the technology maybe as well as they could. I also think that whenever something that is this large of a breakthrough, it challenges established worldviews and ideas about the world. So I think that a lot of folks see their existing worldview challenged about maybe what is possible, and it scares them a little bit. So I think oftentimes the response to understanding Bitcoin for the first time can be a sort of backlash. Many of those folks, though, over the last 5 years that were originally skeptical, as they learn a bit more about the technology, they generally come around and see that this is a massive breakthrough.
Now, we talked about how you believe the blockchain itself will be revolutionary, but what about Bitcoin itself? How will it be used? What will it be used for? So
I think Bitcoin, it's becoming increasingly clear, is acting as a sort of digital gold. And this is a gold that you can transmit over the internet instantly, right? This means that lots of people want to use this as a diversified asset class so that they can get uncorrelated exposure. A lot of people want to store their money in something other than their regional fiat currency. So I think there's a lot of different reasons why people might use Bitcoin, but a lot of it boils down to that digital gold use case.